Whatever. All right. It's Caldera Lab, everybody. Great new skin product sponsor of the Virzi Effect. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. Get 20% off with our code VIRZI. That's VIRZI at calderalab.com. That's 20% off at calderalab.com by using code VIRZI. Jump into skin and first impression royalty with Caldera Lab. Go to the link in the description, calderalab.com/Virzi for more. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys are listening to episode 583, right back here in the New York studio. I want to thank everybody who's been listening. The numbers have been going up. I want to thank you guys. I guess it took me getting in here and not doing the shit from home anymore, getting some video. But thank you. Keep subscribing to the Virzi Effect. Get it anywhere you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. And this week, guys, I have another great guest, somebody that I love talking to, somebody who is a New Yorker, somebody who loves the same sports teams that I love, and somebody that did something for me that I will never, ever forget, but we will get into it.
Herpes. I gave you herpes.
The hilarious Steve Rannazzisi is here, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, dude.
I love it. This is awesome.
I'm so glad you're here, but you did something, okay? Steve, hilarious comics, Comedy Central's.
I did two specials for them.
Yeah, and I have one there that's buried, and nobody knows where it is.
And away on an island.
I'm still waiting for the license. You want to laugh? It was a 6-year license deal. I get it back next year. My my Netflix, which came out last year, I'm going to get back first.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. Listen. Thank you to Comedy Central for giving me one. They gave us one.
They gave you a shot.
It came out in 2018. They put
great.
it out, and now nobody in the world knows how to find it.
I can't even watch it myself. I had to buy it on Amazon.
If my children wanted to watch it, I would have to search.
I do have to buy it. Yeah. It's like in the library, so my face comes up. Like how bad does it look when you go to your iTunes library and your face is there because you have to buy your own special because you can't find it streaming? Oh my
God.
Dude.
You also know him as Kevin from The League.
Oh, yes.
His special's hilarious, but you did something that I'll never forget.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember it, but I'll tell you. We first met, and here's the other thing. When we first met, you treated me, because of our mutual friends, you treated me like this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's like we didn't know each other, but you're like, hey, I fuck with that guy. You fuck with that guy. That's our friend. Yeah. So you were like, hey, what's going on? We knew the same people. We talked. It was at Levity Live. And I don't know if I popped in to do a guest spot. I think maybe the first time was a guest spot or something. And you were just super, super cool. And I said to you, I might have been featuring, but then this might have happened a couple times. But I remember, because that was like when I would be off. Sometimes Levity would go, hey, if you want to just go up and do 7.
Yes.
And I think that might have happened one time. But also I maybe was featuring. But either way, we met and it was awesome. And I told you, I said, hey, man, my wife's about to give birth. And you said to me, you said, hey, it was either your brother-in-law or anesthesiologist at Northern.
Cousin. Yep.
Yes, your cousin. You said my cousin is an anesthesiologist in Northern Westchester. Like I'll mention whatever you did, dude. And like I thought that was just shit talking. And dude, when I'm in the hospital with my wife, and this dude walks into the room.
Get out of here, really?
I swear to God.
I'll give him a shout out, Dr. Barry Bear. My wife's cousin, who I was very close with. He was a little older.
Yeah.
So he was like already established when we were coming up.
So Dr. Barry Bear, and what you said was, I think he was there. I think he was at the show.
Yep.
And you were like, hey, he's the thing I'll mention. Something happened. Either way, this dude showed up to the room. And he showed up to the hospital room while my wife is laying there and says, hey, man, I'm related to Steve Rannazzisi. I saw you at the show. Just want to let you know if there's anything you need in here, I work. And it was just, and I was like, that fucking dude.
Family, dude.
Dude, that was like, and to do that when you first meet somebody and then have them come into the hospital, I was like, dude, that was fucking awesome.
I mean, look, I didn't really do anything besides just make an introduction, and obviously you're hilarious. So, but you were on the vibe of like East Coast family. It's always felt like that. Like we would have been friends if you were a plumber and I was an electrician.
100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If we are our kids, if we were in the town, we would have been coaching Little League together or rival coaches, breaking each other's balls and stuff. That's how it would have been, regardless of the industry. I think. You know?
No. If we were in the same community, we would go have a beer.
Yep.
Hey, Steve, I'm taking the kids to a Giants game. You want to bring your kids? And we would just do it. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we ran into each other at a Giants game.
Oh yeah.
You're Giants and Yankees like I am. We were just talking about that scum Ari, who is a Cowboy.
For the Cowboys. Yeah, I was telling you, we were at the Odell Beckham catch game in Giants Stadium. I forget how many years ago that is. Probably like 8 years ago now, maybe even longer.
Mikey, can we find that
10
out?
years ago.
I'm gonna say, hold on, before
23. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was 2013.
13 or 14. I'm gonna go 14. And the answer is
November 23rd, 2014.
14.
Oh, 14.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, 9 years ago. We got to go because at that time I was on the show, so we got to go. Like Ari landed from a gig in Newark, and I picked him up.
Monday Night Football?
Probably yes, because it was like
was it a Monday night or
Sunday?
It was either Sunday night or Monday night because it was under the lights.
Yep,
and
it was the night game. I remember we got there early, and I was able to get us on the field. Me, Ari, and Adam Egett, the guy from the comedy store.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah,
we get on the field, and he had his uncle. with
he's
him.
a big Giants guy.
Huge Giants fan. So we get on the field previous, and he had his uncle with him, who's also like in that Illuminati circle where. So after we were on the field, we went to his little side restaurant that you just get food, you know, like those VIP area tickets.
Yes.
We didn't have those, but he just hooked us up with that. But we got into the field. Des Bryant throwing a football to every kid in a Cowboys jersey all around the whole perimeter of the field, right? Sickest thing ever. We go back inside, we eat, and then we're there. And he's not an obnoxious like he wasn't like wearing the jersey and stuff like that. He was rooting for the Cowboys.
Who's this?
Ari.
Okay,
so we're sitting together, but when that catch happened, I mean, I remember where we were like one level up right there, and we could not believe
that he caught it.
Right?
Wait, you were on the side of where he was?
We were. We were in the dome part. I feel like if we were in the dome area, if he came coming this way towards our area, we were right here. So probably end zone, second level up, looking down at it. Right? Couldn't believe that it happened. They show it on the big screen, and I was like, I can't even believe. I go, do you think anyone else Not that anyone else saw this, but is this a big deal? And then you opened up Instagram, and it was like the memes they were rolling in before 2 plays were over. Like his like Jesus' face on him, like going backwards and stuff like that.
Dude,
it was the wildest shit ever.
Laying flat almost.
Yeah.
He wasn't even bent. He was almost laying flat. And then he catches it with the fingers, and his arm goes back, and it's a pass interference.
Oh my!
And it's a pass interference, and it's against the Cowboys under the lights.
And he's still, and I think we won the game too.
We did win the game. We did win the game, and I will say this: that was, and I remember I was at who was that? Somebody was at Gotham. I went into Gotham. I went into the green room and I said, Odell Beckham Jr. just had the greatest catch in NFL history tonight. And they go, come on, Virzi, enough, dude.
I know.
And I go, no, and I showed it, dude.
This is the time when because we love this was the greatest thing I've ever seen. That was the best meal I've ever had.
Yeah.
I throw those out there a little too loosely.
No, I do too. I think it's a New York thing.
Yeah, because we're excited about what
and
we
you're
just
Italian?
happened. Yes.
Yeah, so we can't handle it.
So it's like either it's the greatest or like this is the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
So yes, you probably threw that out there and somebody shouldn't, but you were right that time.
I was right that time, and it was. There are certain moments in sports. You know what it reminds me of a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of the John Starks dunk. That was a moment. Now listen, this was more skill than that. But there's moments in sports history that I don't think you'll ever forget, and like you'll always remember where you were.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was at this kid Vinny's house. He lived in the neighborhood. We was in his basement, and we're eating Twizzlers, watching the Knicks play the Bulls in those epic things. And when he went up lefty, it was like a delay. Yeah. And then we could not fucking believe that he just yoked it on all three of them.
I know.
Horace Grant and Jordan came in late. So I mean,
came in late, but he counts at the end. He's in the picture.
I mean, Pippen, Horace Grant, and Jordan are there
because it's like you get the bullies. The one time that when you get on the bully, and like you get a punch in on the bully. It's like we did it, dude. We may not have ever beat these guys, but we got one electric moment that we can fucking live forever.
Yeah, and it's funny thing is we lost the series. We might have even lost the game.
And you're back on Sports Talk with Paul and Steve. Let's get the next caller in here. What's your miserable existence in New York
we just
sports?
realized that hey, we could do a comics hour on the Fan. No, dude, it's well, listen, dude, I think I think sports is, I don't like when people are like, yeah, sports is like, I'm not a sports guy. Sports is more than that. Sports brings people together, dude. Sports is like, dude, when there are some nerdy kids on my son and daughter's teams and they're like nerdy and you don't feel like they're ever going to be playing that sport and they probably won't, but that kid has a moment and you see what happens to that kid, dude. Some of these kids, listen,
they light up.
Some of them have disabilities. There are kids that have autism.
Yeah.
There are kids that have things. You know what? They get in the game, their parents light up, they light up. Dude, one thing that was nuts though, this is one of I haven't said this before on the show, but this was really wild, man. This is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in sports. Now, my son, I don't know, we haven't talked, but my son is like ridiculous.
Okay.
Like NBA
loves it.
No, but NBA players and Division I players are like, if he's tall, he's like, dude, he had like 36 points and 9 threes the other day and like exploded a gym. John Wallace is his coach.
Really?
John Wallace went to the Final Four with Syracuse, and he played for the Knicks, of course, but he played for the Miami Heat, the Raptors, and I think a quick stint with the Suns. But he's my son's coach in summer now, and he was just like, yo, this kid is cold. My son is Chris DiStefano, who has the record at St. Joe's in Queens for Division III. He saw my son shot. He goes, dude, that kid's Jimmy. My son's, I'm not even, you could ask anybody. Giannis played in college too. We had a shootout because I was always able to shoot, but I'm 5'8".
Yeah.
We shot in my driveway. We shot 25 shots each, me, Giannis, and my son. And my son beat us. I think I had 18. I think Giannis had 19. My son went 22 or 25 from deep. He's just ridiculous, dude, right? Yeah, he's like, so anyway, I love watching his games but he's like Gilbert Arenas, where it's like if the first two go in, it's over. He'll go the whole night. You know what I mean? But
is he gonna keep? If they don't go in, is he still put him up?
No, because all Lucas cares about is pass first.
Oh, okay.
No, he's his pass. He find the open kid. That's what he wants to do.
I still threw him up anyway.
Oh, I was the worst.
See how bad we can make this.
Our generation was dumb. I was like, yo, watch me do. I'm 5'8". I'm thinking.
The ball never left.
Oh,
no. I was the block. I was the plug of the ball, dude.
Dude, I was John Starks in Game 6 when he went 1 for 18. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep heaving these things up.
So, dude, one of the funniest things I ever seen in a thing, and I don't mean to make light of it, but they were playing a game, and this short little black kid Frankie gets in the game, right? And he fucking, dude, and his parents are in the stands, and he crosses this kid up, and the kid falls. And everyone goes nuts.
Oh, wow.
And then he takes a shot, and the shot goes in, and everyone goes nuts. His parents...
The professor! Escalade!
Yeah.
There ain't nobody like him.
Yeah, like,
stone cold, professor.
It was the N1, dude. And
Moments
his
like
parents run out. His parents run out on the court with a minute something left. The game is still going. His parents are on the court. But the funniest part was the kid that fell was like autistic.
Oh, really?
So, dude,
what did the parents do when they ran out there to get him off?
The parents ran out high-fiving, and then they realized, so they just sprinted back.
Oh.
But, dude, it was like, I felt like the kid was just, like, he wasn't, like, severely, but I think he was, like, on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But I found that out after. So I said to my son, I go, ooh, yeah, that guy Frankie, he crossed that kid up. And my son's like, yeah, I think there was something wrong with that kid. And I was just like, but, dude, his parents ran out on the court and started high-fiving.
Oh,
and then,
man.
they're, like, running back, and then they just had to turn around and run. Dude, I wish I had it on video because it was like the realization of it. But it was amazing for us as a spectator.
That's my favorite. Like I love, because my kids play sports too, and so I love those moments where you're like, this is like, it could not be any more boring or whatever, and then something happens amongst them where you're like, the kid that never gets a hit,
yes,
or a ball gets caught, he's going back to him, and you're like, this is it, and he catches it,
oh my god,
and he throws it in, knows where to throw it, and doubles a guy off. Where you're like, that's a fucking miracle, dude.
Yeah,
what we just witnessed here, because when you spend 8,000 hours, and you will, dude, 8,000 hours on these travel teams, because they'll go travel, and then you're gonna go to Vegas. You're gonna start planning gigs around where the hell these tournaments are gonna be.
Yes.
And you'll start to see, like, it'll get boring a little bit.
Yeah.
Like almost like like a reporter that has to watch every fucking game to write about it the next day.
Yes.
But then you'll see these moments where you're like, this kid saw, and then he does something magical, and you're like, I love it. I can't not watch every single moment.
All right, everybody, it's Caldera Lab, the new sponsor of the Virzi Effect. Thrilled to be working with them. First impressions matter. There are no two ways around it. What's the first thing that somebody notices about you? In most cases, it's your face, and more importantly, your skin. If you aren't already, it's time to put your best face forward. How to do that? By adding in skincare routine. And you know what? It's not hard. You just don't have the right tools until now. Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Cardera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. Go to carderalab.com/Virzi, Virzi, to enjoy 20% off their best products. Cardera Lab creates high-performance men's skin products, and the regimen leads off their product lineup, a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. The skincare world is heavily female-driven and has long been wild, wild west for men. Whether men can't find the right brands or simply lack the knowledge and understanding of it, skincare is something that requires attention. Luckily, men's skincare has never been easier with Cardera Lab and regimen. Inside the bundle, you'll find your skincare dream team, the clean slate, the base layer, and the good. The clean slate starts and ends your day. The face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. The base layer is your daily moisturizer that highlights your skin and absorbs it fast, leaving you with the matted finish. It's like paint, guys. It's like paint on a wall, okay? Matted finish so you can start your day confidently. And the good is your go-to at night before bed and clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. In every drop, this serum, there are 3.4 million antioxidant units protecting your skin. Want to know what that means? Because I do. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, I have no clue. But it must be good, though, right? They even have the eye serum called the Icon. It addresses the three most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. Cardera Lab is made with top-tier ingredients and is a great addition to your daily routine. Takes less than a minute every morning and night, and here to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Guys, I love the product. It makes my skin feel good, smooth, and my wife loves it as well, and she loves when I have it. So all you guys have to do right now is you go to carderalab.com for 20% off, and make sure you use bonus code Virzi. That's Virzi. That's 20% off carderalab.com by using Virzi. Okay? Jump into skin and first impression royalty with Cardera Lab. Go to the link in the description, carderalab.com/Virzi for more. That's it. And just by talking to you, I know you must be you're a coach, right?
Well, I did, but I've got past. Like my son, my youngest son's a baseball player, and he's way better than I ever was or ever will ever accomplish in baseball.
This is your
my youngest. My oldest son does football, wrestling, and lacrosse.
How old are your boys?
So my oldest is going. Well, he's 14. He's going into 9th grade.
Okay, so me too. So
and,
that's Lucas. Yep.
And then my youngest is going into 6th grade. He's 11.
Oh, so mine are 14 and 11.
Yeah.
Both going into. Oh, we have the same ages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so going into 6th and going into 9th.
7th, 6th, and 9th. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm out something like during the day. It's like drop offs for football mini camps for JV. At night, I'm doing travel baseball. The travel baseball thing is great. I love it. I love baseball, but I watch him hit.
Yeah.
He pitches a lot.
Yeah.
He's good. I got to go to the outfield for that. I can't because I have two. I got the chatter. So it's like either I'm on the ump or I'm on another kid and then the other parents are around here. You know, and then I'm like, sometimes I thought I'm quiet enough. They got this thing, Game Changer, that films every game.
Yeah.
So I've gone back and watched to get highlights.
No.
I got to make highlight reel. I can hear myself.
You're watching game film?
Yeah, dude. I'm making this kid. You know, I need highlight reels. You're gonna have to do this too.
Oh, you mean like to send out? Yeah.
Yeah, he needs like an N1 mixtape of his pitching so that he can post his Instagram and TikTok.
And you
posts.
hear yourself.
Yeah, so I can hear myself in the Game Changer. Son of a bitch.
Isn't
you're
it
like
funny
mumbling,
how-
and you're like,
isn't it
I got to get out of here.
Yeah, we're comedians. Isn't it funny? We're comedians watching things and we're talking like we know what we...
bro.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Bro, how many times have you destroyed an umpire during an MLB game or a ref? I imagine them being 4 feet away, like he is right there. Just like I'm like, what? You know, like he'll say something. That's a great one, Blue. Like at any time, you're doing a great job. I do the over.
Oh, you do. Oh wait, but you do the passive aggressive.
I do the over. You're doing a great job, Blue. Like even when it's like everybody's on him, I'm like, dude, don't let these guys.
You're sarcastic.
Yes.
Good job, Blue. Good eye, Blue.
Yeah, here we go, Blue. Now we're in it. Right. Like, so that no one can ever say that I'm like not positive. I'm not like a bit, I've seen these. I mean, you could only imagine.
Yeah, no. One time I was behind the cage. My son gave up on baseball. And what sucks is he has my son has a very rare eyesight thing. He's got that Ted Williams fighter pilot eye shit.
Oh, really?
He's like
like fighter. Like
no, he's got like fighter pilot. Like he's got like his eye. So he like when he played little league, he started batting. When he started batting seventh. He worked right up to lead off. His eye. He would just make even when he would just always make contact. He was fast. He played second base. And my wife's like, you're gonna play baseball. He goes, I don't like it. And he's like, I just don't like it. He goes, I just don't like it. It's not fast paced enough for me. So then that's when the basketball and the motion of the basketball. That's literally
my older son. My older son played baseball. The younger one just watched him when he was super young. And then like the year of COVID, right before it all hit, he was in the outfield. He's like, I don't really. this is slow for me. I don't really want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not into this.
That's exactly. He's like, dude, I'm waiting in the field.
It's either all me or not me, and I don't really feel like being in those moments. Like either I'm just, So he just didn't do anything that COVID year, and then when we moved back to Long Island, he's like, I want to play football because he played soccer and stuff. We thought he was going to play soccer, and he's like, no, I want to play football. He just slid right in. I'm thinking it's going to be like not school ties, but like when they have like they're gonna bully him, like he's gonna try to be the new kid coming in, not because he's Jewish, just because he's like from California, So I'm like, all right,
that's great.
But they were super cool. They taught him D-back, and and then he just fell into it. He fell in love with it. So it's been 2 years now. He's had a great 2 seasons, and same thing with wrestling and lacrosse. Lacrosse is huge on Long Island.
No, it's getting big. I think lacrosse is getting big everywhere.
Yeah,
my kids didn't take to it, but my son, listen, man, my son watches college basketball and NBA. When you watch that, when you see Steph Curry cross someone up and hit a half court thing, baseball is the last thing he's thinking about. It's like you said. It's like they're in the moment real quick with the bat, and then they're in the field, and then it's like done.
Yeah.
And he just didn't listen, he loves the Yanks. We'll watch the Yanks. It's just not, it's just not really, what he wanted to do. But I remember when he was playing, because my wife was like, give it one more year. He played up until like a little bit in junior high, but then he was done. I'm behind the cage, dude. And he got into pitch. And dude, he threw a pitch that was a strike. And the guy, and I just go, dude, what are you doing? And something, and dude, the ump just turned, and he took his mask off, and he walked, and he just looked at me like that, and I realized I was hurting my son.
Yeah,
and then that's when I was like, you know what, dude, what am I doing? Like, I'm not gonna be the dad that gets kicked out. I'm not gonna be that crazy dad that I always make fun of. I just said a quick thing like you, but he heard it because I was behind the cage, and he just kind of walked over and gave a look. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that to my son. Because you know what I mean? So I kind of just walked away.
It is very, very tough because it's so easy and it's so in our wheelhouse to just kind of like back and forth a little bit.
And we're comics, so it's like,
and we got an audience already built in. Everyone's there. They're not going anywhere. They want to see what the fuck's going on.
So turn us into a little set.
I'm not letting you get the last word. I'm sorry, dude. So it's back and forth, and I've had a couple of those. And the more games I go to, the more I'm like, I know where I need to be now, so I can go mumble to myself in the outfield fence. Outfield fence. I just sit on the fence and I just, I lean on it and I watch the game and I can say what I want out there.
Are you talking to yourself like a crazy person? Or
yeah. Especially if my son's pitching and, like, people make mistakes. That shit happens. But, if I saw you warm up lackadaisical, like it's the fucking Globetrotters and shit, right? And we're doing all this with the ball during fucking warm-ups in the infield. Everybody's Volpe. Everybody wants. And then the first ball hits to you and you're this and it goes right through your legs.
You're saying something.
I got to say something now, dude.
Yeah.
But now I'm in the outfield so that nobody hears it and I can get that venom out myself.
Now, this is something that I think anybody listening to this show that either has children or is an aunt or an uncle can understand this. Now, my wife is the one to really go when, like in basketball, if she sees my son's fucking off or tired, she'll literally say to me, like, she'll go, what the fuck is he doing? And I go, I don't know. And she goes, Paul, I'm not paying for this. Like, because, we pay for things. And she said, if he's going to fuck, I don't care that it's 7 o'clock in the morning. If he's, dude, one time, I swear to God, she goes, I'm going. Dude, they called a timeout. Dude, during the timeout,
she went down
my
to the
wife
bench.
walked over there and she just goes, get over here. She goes, you think I'm gonna fucking wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you don't give a fuck? And dude, she like said something, but now that made him. And she's not nuts either. She saw that like she's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't want to push this boulder up the hill by myself.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
don't
we're doing here.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're doing this for you.
And he'll say like, don't talk during the game. So I figured out a way to talk to him. Like what I would do is I would build up. And then say the negative thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want. So I would be like, let's just say if I knew he should have shot, but he hesitated, and I'm like, dude, you were open. Like when he was younger.
Yeah.
Now he'll shoot it. But I'll go, hey buddy, you played really good. Your defense is getting a little better. Hey, next time though, man, when you have that shot, I would take that because you could do like that's the way to do it. Because if you just go, what was going on? Why would then he's like, don't talk, don't even come to the game then. And I'm like, so I figured out the fine line there.
I do the thing where say that happens. What I just said, right? A kid goes through the second baseman's leg, right? Instead of being like, hey, instead of yelling the negative thing, I'll yell out like, that's okay, guys. We're gonna pick him up. Let's everybody pick up so and so, on second base.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, and then I'll add like, but let's just be baseball ready. Like, I'm throwing like the little like, but we all know what happened there, right? Like, let's pick them up. Everything's good, guys. We're good to go. But let's be ready because that's what happened there. We weren't ready, right? That's what happened.
So there you go.
So,
yes.
I
love that. Now, have you ever gotten into it with a parent or no?
No, not not another parent. One year I was like 2 years ago, I was at a game. I was just watching my son, and this other coach was just going wild on this umpire. And this kid had to be like 16 years old, right? And he just kept going. And he was like, the umpire kept telling me to be quiet, and the guy went, what was this about? Yesterday, I guess they had the same. There was a tournament, so he must have the same guy the day before, and they must have got into the day before. Don't hold this over my head. This is a residual, right? He's just laying on this umpire. And then a strike call, he wasn't called, and he goes at the umpire, and the umpire goes, "Get out of here! You're done, dude. I'm done hearing it. You're out, right?" And then the umpire, the manager just stood there. He's like, "Where do you want me to go, huh? Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to go?" And then he's like, "I don't know. I just go. Get out of here." And he's like, well, I'm not leaving till you tell me where to go." And I'm like, to your fucking car. I can't. Like, I'm like, he's 17 years old. Quiznos, get the fuck out of here. You gotta leave, dude.
Go to Starbucks.
And he hears it and he goes, "You gotta tell me where to go." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I just did. I think." And it's like and then all of a sudden you see, I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "This, I can't."
Now you're in this.
I just wanted to answer the question to get this thing done in a funny way, and now I'm in the middle of this, right? And then eventually they got him out, they conned him down, and he left. But it was like a wild thing where I'm like, we're gonna this is gonna get crazy. And meanwhile, the 17 years old, or 16. How do you talk to a kid?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna? I told him, I go, you gotta have these 3 things ready to go. If anyone ever said, I told the umpires, I go, here's what you say back to these fat fucks. I'm like, you gotta have answers ready to go. I prepare them because I'm like,
you're giving this.
Yeah, I'm like, they're coming at you, dude, and you got nothing. You're just staring at them. You got to give them a quick. Get everybody on your side, and then everyone's gonna get this guy out of here.
Dude, that is so
it's
great
advice, dude.
Dude, that is so great. Were you say something, Mike?
No, so you just sit him down and let him watch. There's a bunch of roasts. Get Jeff Ross to come to class, come to practice one time. Like, everyone gather around. Put your gloves down. We're gonna talk. We're gonna learn shit talking.
You know
here.
what?
This game is mostly mental. Let's remember that.
And there's a big problem going on in schools right now where their games get canceled because they don't have refs.
Oh, no,
and some of the refs are being abused. And and these are high school seniors who dedicate and volunteer their time, and then they get a crazy parent or they get crazy coaches, and they're like, I'm not going to do it.
Middle school on Long Island, no umpires. Middle school baseball. Coaches call the game. Middle schools. That's 6th, 7th, 8th grade. No umpires.
The coaches?
JV, you're lucky if you get one. JV, you're lucky
there's like
if you
a
get
shortage.
One. And varsity, you'll probably get one. You're supposed to have 2 at varsity. I mean, it's crazy. Nobody wants to do it.
Dude,
there's so many parts of me that, like, we talked about our summers. We like our summers with our family stuff.
Yeah, of course.
There's parts of me that want to umpire, that want to go in, because I'm like, I feel like I don't have the personality for it, but I know that I would have fun with it while I was doing it.
I will tell you this, dude. If you are umpiring a game in Long Island, I'm coming. Dude, I would love nothing more because I can see you getting. By the way, did you guys see that you saw the Nick Kroll thing?
Oh,
when
with
he
the
was
ref?
when Nick Kroll was the NBA ref.
That's my favorite.
Dude, when he's with
Ref
his ass
Jeff?
out, and he goes, "Yeah, we're going out tonight."
It's just trying to find out where the NBA guys are
trying to
going.
find out and then
the
telling the
party's
other
at.
ones, you
Yeah.
probably won't be invited, dude. That Nick Kroll, by the way, I gotta say this,
No,
dude.
he's a genius.
I gotta say, and I'll even say this, I didn't know this about Nick Kroll. When I watched some of his stand-up special and some of the clips, dude, his stand-up is funny. His acting is funny. He's I didn't even say that. I didn't even realize you guys were. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So you got to see him on but dude, that guy's
Every
wild,
day,
right?
Yeah. And plus, our show was improvised, so that's what he got trained in. Like, he
So you did that shit was like what's it called?
Like
Curb.
enthusiasm. Yeah.
So you had like an outline.
Yes, but we worked like that, and he, his brain, the way his brain is wired, is like that's how he got trained in that.
How many seasons was it?
We did seven or eight. I think it's 7.
Dude, how great was he?
Amazing. Like and he was probably maybe the second most interested in football behind me going into the show. And he just kind of like loved it. Like, he's a Cowboys fan, so he would go to games.
Where's he from? Is he from
Westchester? He grew up.
Oh, he did?
Westchester, Connecticut. It's Westchester. I'm trying to remember the name of I don't know what to say the town, but yeah, it's like it's on that Westchester, Connecticut border around there.
Sure, I know.
Yeah, right around there.
Dude. Oh my God, he's
genius.
I remember
his
somebody.
whole family, dude. His dad is probably like, when you meet someone, like if you met like a Barack Obama, someone special of that stature, and you go like, oh, and you realize why that person has achieved that
is in the position that they're in.
You meet him, and he is kind and genuine and smart. Never talks down to people. I've never seen him talk down to people. He is brilliant. He is funny, dude. And he's raised great kids. Like, I'm like, oh, this is how you want whatever level of success you get to.
Yeah,
you can still do things correctly. You know what I'm saying? You can still do things the right way,
and you don't
raise kids the right way. Whatever your water level rises to, you can still kind of make it a normal place for people. You know,
dude. What about that nightclub shit he did? The nightclub owner.
Bobby Bottle Service.
Oh my God, dude! And the way his face just looked, and with the way he oh my God, the way he talked about his mother. Did he got emotional when he got emotional about the mother? Anytime you talk about my mother, he gets. Dude, shout out
to Nick. To him like during scenes.
Yeah,
because I love to like throw him into one of those ones. I'm like, hey, we'd be at the beach, or whatever. Like, hey, did you hear what the ocean said about your mother? Ocean's talking shit about Ocean's talking shit about my mother.
Oh my God,
the ocean's talking shit about my, and he would start screaming at the hey, fuck you, ocean.
Dude, shout out! I tweeted it. I don't know the dude. Shout out to Nick Kroll. You still in touch with him, or?
We talk, yes, email and stuff once in a while. He's on the West Coast now, full time. He's got a family.
Oh yeah,
just crazy now. He didn't have a family when we were doing the show, so life is building in huge ways for him.
Yeah, no, dude, like
huge.
That. No, dude,
he is so like someone that would have been successful in any endeavor he wanted to, but like. He's like I put him like John Mulaney, like guys that did sketch and stand up and acting and serious acting, and comedy and writing. Like if they put all their eggs in one basket, forget it, dude. When you watch Mulaney do stand up, it's insane.
Yeah.
He's also that good at sketch writing, and producing.
Yeah, no, he's just it's
it's crazy how you see those people transfer over like that.
The two most talented people that I've ever. The two most talented people I think that I've ever seen as far as everything, I think Eddie Murphy for sure.
Oh yeah, God built like a
Yeah, I mean like to win a Golden Globe, get nominated for an Oscar. The guy can sing. The guy can fucking. He did 2 specials by the age 25 that were both people still talk about. He and by the way, I heard he wrote those sketches on SNL.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like he Gumby, I think was, and like James Brown, like all that shit.
He would just get up
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yeah.
So like when you look at that, I will say another monster, dude, is Jamie Foxx, man. Dude, Jamie Foxx, I'm glad he's doing well, but like, dude, Jamie Foxx, man, when you see some of he had a sitcom and you watch his acting, but you also forget he was a cast member on In Living Color, and when you watch some of those, you're going, wow, that was early him. Like early Jamie Foxx and Jim Carrey, when you watch that, you're going, dude, they were kids, and that was like, shout out to Keenan Wayne.
They didn't know the elevation that they were flying at that time.
Right, and right,
And it didn't dawn on them. They were just doing what they thought was funny.
yeah, man. It's like when
Jamie Foxx still can do he does.
Did you see his recent Trump?
Yes.
When he was like fake news, he was sitting there with Snoop, and people were just like, "What?"
Perfect, dude.
It came out like it was just like crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
like he is like really. I mean, I've never seen him do stand up as like an hour. Have you ever seen him like live? I'm talking about. I know he did like.
No, he did.
I saw one special where he was talking about going to Africa and the giraffes. He's like very physical and stuff.
Yeah,
very
he talked
funny
about
that way.
yeah. It was an HBO special. He talked about when he got to like all the animals that he said, and that was just the airport.
Yep.
And then he was talking about when he first met J-Lo. It was more like hey ho because she was just a dancer on In Living Color.
Yeah.
She was she was one of the
one of the fly girls.
Fly girls.
The fly.
She was a fly girl, just a New York, Latino woman who could dance, and was one of the fly girls, and all of those people. Jim Carrey, Keenan Ivory Wayans, dude. Keenan Ivory Wayans picked Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
and like. And it was, I mean, I remember my mom going, this guy's going to be, dude, look, even before Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
Before he got the big stuff, when he would just jump into the white guy role in the sketch, and he was just over the top with the faces, you were going, this guy's another thing.
Yeah, he doesn't care that he's going to make the white guy, normal white guy in this sketch, going to make it something really fucking special.
And he did something where he wasn't just the white guy in the sketch. His lanky, his like contortions and stuff were just like.
He could steal a scene, dude, real easily.
Yeah.
Right from underneath anybody in it, because he had Farley fucking physicality funny. You know, like the way he can move himself around, contort his face, make you just look at him and laugh. Not even saying whatever the words are. He's fucking funny.
So let's talk about this, because this is a great thing, and you know what? It's good to do the Virzi effect and talk about not, like, because sometimes people, great, two comics talking comedy. Like, hey, dude, what was your worst gig? Yeah, I got booed. Yeah, they get it. But let's talk about, because one thing that I'm really enjoying now is, other than because stand-up is my number one, and I feel like this new hour is better than anything I've ever done, so I'm so excited. But another thing that I'm doing in my career that I'm really starting to embrace and love, Steve, is acting. And when I did, I got a guest role in Bupkis with Pete Davidson, and I got a little part in a couple movies, and I was always scared of acting until I just like let go and just like did it, because I had a bad taste in my mouth from an acting class a long time ago, where somebody was like, hey dude, I know the lady, if you get in I could get you, and I did this sitcom acting class here, and like it was just a scary, not fun, reading these monologues in front of these actors, not natural, being judged. So my first taste of acting was like this scary, anxiety filled thing. So when I would go, but then when I actually would go and do it, and I would be called upon to play the part, it was fucking fun. The director would know my strength and go, hey, do that.
Yep.
And, so granted, I was definitely had people that were like, hey, Virzi would be good for that.
Sure.
So that, of course, like the first thing was with Judd Apatow on King of Staten Island. The scene got cut. I was playing Pete's dad, but the scene got cut. But it was fucking fun and doing it. And like, so when so you're saying when you're there and you're doing it, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. You don't feel nervous. You don't feel like the only. It's like now it's like normal nerves.
Yes.
Where now it's like, okay, here's
like I'm going on a set, or doing a set.
I'm doing a set, right? I'm doing a big show. So it's like they'll say, here's your lines. I'll have my lines in my head. You go to the trailer. You sit in your trailer. You wait to be called. You go and you talk to the director, and then all of a sudden, once you get in it, then you start having fun with it, and it's good. It was not the case when I first started, because I remembered that class. And she was like a teacher that was like, she was on a bunch of Law and Order. She knew a bunch of casting directors. She had a bunch of comedians. It was a sitcom acting class, but very judgy. And I told this to Chaz Palminteri, because I did Chaz's podcast. And one thing that I did in the acting class that she judged, and it made me feel, so she goes, you and this, so me and this girl, me and this woman in the class were supposed to come in the room, and now we're in our bedroom. And when we're in our bedroom, we're fighting and we're arguing. So we come in and we start arguing, and out of nowhere, I just started acting like I was looking in the mirror, unbuttoning my shirt. And the teacher was like, yeah, that was a little like too Tony Soprano for the thing. But like somebody else in the class was like, that was kind of a good instinct. But she made me insecure about it. And she would be like, when you could let go and really be you, you're going to be okay. And I did learn, one thing I did learn in that class was listening is big, because I was always worried about my line.
Yes.
But if I'm listening to you, and Chaz Palminteri, I do his podcast, and he goes like this. He goes, no, you know what acting is? And I was wearing a Yankee hat. He goes, this is what acting is. And all of a sudden, I'm doing a fucking scene with Chaz. And he just goes, all right. He goes, so you're a Yankee fan, huh? And I go, yeah. He goes, how long you been a Yankee fan? I go, I've been a Yankee fan since I'm like 11, 12 years old. Yeah. He goes, now that's the scene we're going to do. So and we just did it. And he just goes, that's acting. Just like he kept it simple, but he said, be in why you were a Yankee fan and tell me why and really listen to the question. And if I would have had that in the class, if I would have had that younger, I would have been like, oh, cool. But I had this fucking big production and it was like a sitcom acting thing, so it was exaggerated. And it was just a comic got me in, and I hated it.
You know, I feel I had a really great experience in LA because when I got there, I had done acting in college and stuff and been in plays and, done shows and stuff, but nothing like, professional. So when I got there, I was like, I had already done stand-up a lot. And I'm like, I want to do stand-up. I still want to try sketch comedy. I want to put my eggs in a lot of baskets, and I definitely want to continue acting. And I went to this one class. It was like, it felt very the same way, like a bunch of actors, and they knew that I was like, they were like, oh, this guy's a stand-up, because I said I was a stand-up, right? And they treated me like weird, like almost like just like not like I was even going to ever be good at it. I never shot at being, even though I was already pretty good, they wrote me off.
Did you feel like there was a resentment because it came easier to you?
Well, no, stand-up is looked at, and the reason I'll say that is, then I was talking to my, like Ari and Kevin Christie, these guys at the store were doing this one guy that taught Kinnison. And he's like, this is the guy that taught Kinnison how to act and how to kind of be on camera and not, just be real. And so we were like, all right. So we all started going. It was just, he had a lot of other actors, probably had 20 people in a class, or maybe 15, and maybe 4 or 5 of them were stand-ups, and the rest were regular actors. And he didn't treat anyone any differently. And he would talk, like, if he told you, like, what was that? Like, if you did the Tony Soprano, like, whatever they said, took the shirt off, he wouldn't be like, hey, that was a little Tony Soprano. He would say, why were you taking your shirt off? He would get into it with you as to, like, tell me why. So I got to find, if you were like, I wanted to be like Tony Soprano, then he would have made fun of you. But if you were like, I don't know, I'm getting ready for bed.
Right. My instinct was because we're in the room now.
Yeah.
And instead of me like looking at my wife fighting, I'm like, let me take my shirt off and get ready for bed.
And if he didn't like it, right, he would have been like, I'm not sure that's exactly how, I don't know if I would have felt like, I would have got right into it with my wife. I would have been like, we're not in here to, like, if my clothes come off, they come off. He would have told you, I didn't like your choice in a different way than, like, that was Tony Soprano.
Right.
And then right away you shut down. You're like, well, now I don't, wow. Right, does everyone think I'm like Tony Soprano?
Right, like now my instincts are wrong as a,
this dude, and R.I.P. He was an actor himself. His son is a big actor. His son, Steve Howie. He was on Reba for many years, and he was on Shameless for all the 9 years, and now he's the Arnold Schwarzenegger role in True Lies on CBS.
Okay.
Yes. Well-known actor. Anyway, he just knew how to talk to us, and he knew that we could tell he treated everyone equally, whether you were an actor, a TV actor, or
no favorites.
That was it. Everybody had to justify their choices regardless of whatever it was. So it made me feel like, oh, okay. And I just got better and more comfortable doing it. So that when I got my shots, I was never uncomfortable. Because first of all, not uncomfortable with failure, because I was failing all the time every night at doing stand-up. But I was also comfortable with, sometimes I go with justifying my choices. Why I did this, why I did that. Because sometimes, they hear stand-ups coming in to read, and then the producers will sit there and they go, all right, you do it, and they'll go, oh shit, he's fucking pretty good in their head,
Yeah.
And they go, is this a one-time bullshit thing? Let me ask. I go, what? So I really like the way you did that thing with the unbuttoning the shirt. Why'd you do that? And you'll be like, I don't know. I just felt like, I'm getting comfortable. I'm not want to hear her bullshit right now. It's just a fucking, no background noise wherever you are in the scene. And they go, oh shit. Yeah. Like he knows what the fuck he's doing. Like he'll be able to turn. If I said I didn't like that, he'll be able to make a different choice. And that's what puts you over the edge.
And we weren't.
You're not a guy that's just like a stand-up waiting, like his mouth starts moving and then my mouth starts moving.
No, I love that, dude. I love that you said that, because I remember in the scene we weren't screaming at each other. It was kind of just like a quiet, like almost like, hey, why are we doing this? And I'm just getting ready for bed, and she just kind of did this, But one thing that happened was I was in a scene, and this is when I knew that oh wow, there's you can get really, there's totally different levels to this and everything. She goes, this is one of the last times, and I missed some because I would go and do stand-up, and I would be at a festival, I'd miss it.
Yeah.
And I loved missing it because I was really anxious going there. Yeah, dude, I would rather do like 1,000 seats, I was really nervous because there was all these actors in there. And she's like, "Oh, you're going to work every class." But one of the last scenes was me and a dude in the class had to be two guys that worked at ESPN, and one guy was saying he wanted to quit because of all these athletes were doing criminal shit and all these athletes were getting arrested for domestic violence. And he was like, and I remember one of the lines was like, "What's going to happen? You know, he shoots, then he scores," basically, like with the guns and all that. And my job was to go, "Come on, dude, you love this, man. You got into sports to do this. You're living your dream. Like, don't let what these." And we did it.
Yeah.
And I actually listened to him.
Yeah.
So I actually listened to him go, "Man, I can't do this anymore, dude. What am I promoting? These guys are like criminals out there." And I'm literally going like, "No, but dude, you're doing your dream job and you love this." And that's when that was the first. So the class wasn't all for nothing.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I was like, oh, acting is just as, it's maybe more important to listen. So if me and you were sitting here doing a scene and you were telling me, you know, I'm going to quit something, and I'm going like, "No, dude, I would be listening to what your reasoning would be instead of what my lines are." Because if you always are thinking about your lines, it's going to come all cross-contrived like that.
That's the one thing I learned. I mean, like college, as far as acting, it's like I got reps there. That's what I got reps and some drills. That's what I learned in college. Like, you know, I got on stage, I didn't throw up, I've said all my lines, and then I learned some things. Like, it was like you never really can get into a scene fully, really, the way you would really want to, unless every word is just like down. So I was like, this is a big problem for me because I'm not a great memorizer. So when I found like improv and then like what we did on the league, it was like, oh, this is perfect because I know exactly what I want to say and how I want to get it out.
Yep.
But I just don't remember the way you wanted it to be. Now, you got to do that sometimes. So it's almost like it's the form of acting where it's like the intention is there. Everything I want to convey in this scene right now, I'm getting out. I'm just not maybe doing it in the words that you want to use. You know what I'm saying? So that was comfortable for me.
So, and I'm so glad you just brought that up because that's my next question. So when you were Kevin on the league, how much of that was Steve? How much of that was when you would be riffing?
If the scene was like, Jenny and Kevin are fighting off who's going to watch the kids this week for football. They're in a game against each other on Sunday, right?
This would
be the scene, right?
Yeah.
My wife on the show and I were playing each other this Sunday, right? We both want to watch the games without any interruption. Who's going to watch the kids? That would be the scene. And so I would use like in my mind. Like, I've had this before where I'm like, babe, I need to, like, I understand that it's like a big thing for you, pumpkin picking. Like, we've done that before. I'm like, but they just shifted everything to Sunday night now, and we're not going pumpkin picking at 5 in the afternoon on Sunday. I got to watch a Giant game. It comes on at 4, and that's it. And like, and we'll negotiate, but I am getting my, you know, that's all I need to do is like, because I've had these arguments. I could just. Most things I'm doing in acting, I've had like some sort of reaction or emotion like that before, and you just pull it. You just yank it.
Yeah.
I remember like I don't have to be like a Shakespearean actor trying to get that out. I'm me. So that's what it was like. I did very similar like negotiation tactics.
Yeah,
as Kevin, you know what I'm saying? Like it was very. Yeah, so I used that a lot.
You pulled from what you would normally do, and it came across authentic. It's like so when I was in the season finale of Bupkis, Pete sent me the script, and I'm basically he goes to rehab in the last episode.
Yeah,
and I'm in there. And Joey Gay is a cokehead, and I can't stop gambling on the Giants. He was like, look, you do the lines. He's like, but then do what you would, you know, and like I bet on the Giants. So like, so it's like I had that real thing.
Yeah.
But then when I honed in and I locked in on like losing my family and losing everything because I bet on the Giants, I kind of was like trying to rationalize what Paul would really do.
If you were like on a hot streak and you were like, fucking, let's do it, right? And you just lost like, you know, like a 6-figure, and you had to go home and tell. Like, you're like, I'm like 3 easy steps away from that.
Yeah.
You know, you could do that in your mind. You're like, I could, like, before I do this scene, looking at the script, I could easily be in this situation.
Yes.
I could bet on this fucking game, take out some loans, bet on this game, lose this fucking game, and have to go home and explain to my wife, we're fucked. I had a great day at work, but we're fucked.
Dude, see,
that's
awesome. I'm so glad we're talking about this, man. This is This is awesome. So one of the scenes too, and this is what I love about acting. This is why I think comedians thrive in acting now. And now I can see why some people get a little like resentful towards us in it. Yeah. Because it does. George Carlin said it never came natural to him. I totally understand that at the beginning. Like I was not, but now I kind of, because of what we're talking about, when they let you be the way you would be. But I had a pill in my mouth. Right? I had a pill in my mouth. But at the beginning of the episode, the guy comes on the loudspeaker and he goes, all right, guys, we're going to have a great day. We're serving breakfast in the thing. And then they say, he says something along the lines of, and, you know, Betsy or Beck is going to be doing arts and crafts. So if you want to go to the arts and crafts room, you could do that, right? So they call people in rehab that hold the pill in their mouth cheekers.
Oh, okay.
So a cheeker is somebody that when they give you the medication, you just kind of stick it in, and then they go and they you know, snort it, whatever, right? So in the scene, I have it in my mouth, and the guy goes, "Hey man, you know, my name was Donnie," and he goes, "Donnie, can I talk to you for a second?" And he knows.
Yeah.
And he grabs me by the back of the head. He goes, "You cheeking?" And I go, no. I go, "I'm going to arts and crafts right now, you know, making my daughter something." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you are?" And then all of a sudden he grabs by the back of the head and he goes, "Spit it out. Spit it the fuck out." And I kind of slowly spit it out. But during some of the takes, dude, I had fun and I had Pete and them laughing where I just go, "No, I'm gonna go make my daughter a bracelet," you know, and then I just go out of nowhere, I just go, "She likes purple." Dude, when I said she likes purple, they all fucking, but that's what I loved. Is like they let me just go. And my mind, I didn't know I was gonna say she likes purple. I didn't know. I was just gonna go, my thing was I'm going to arts and crafts. I wanted to get out of there quick. Yeah. Because I got the pill. I'm going to arts and crafts to make my daughter a bracelet. And then something just came to my mind. She likes purple. And like, they loved it. Pete loved it. And I'm going like, oh, that's when I was like, acting could be so fun.
Dude, this is the wheelhouse for us as far as like stand-ups. There's shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm in the League where you're like, get as many funny people together and let's just see what the fuck happens.
And I think Judd did that too.
Judd does that too. Yeah. But I think also with these dramedies kind of feelings, or like where it's like someone's like serious, and then like we are great at just laying out a fucking tension breaker line and we don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like we have these moments, we can really be in these serious, we can shine in these serious scenes by just saying the thing that's not, and you need that, the tension breakers, especially in these dramas. You need those like tension breaker moments to flip it, to get everybody back to like, all right, we're cool. And that's why we're killing it. That's why you got like Maron's killing it, Bill's killing it. Like these moments where these guys are just like, this is a funny thing, maybe inappropriate at this moment, but it can break this tension. But they're interesting stories. You know, like you want these interesting stories told. We can be serious, but also funny on the flip of a hat.
You know who I'm petrified of? And I don't know why, but I'm petrified of. They were talking to John Hamm about it. Dude, I would be petrified doing a scene with Cruise. Because I heard Cruise is just like, they said everything on set is like, has to be approved by him. They said nothing is on the set. Like when they did Top Gun Maverick, nothing is on the set that he doesn't approve. Nothing is going to be said that he doesn't approve. And you're just thinking, dude, that's Tom fucking Cruise. And like, and you know he's going to go in. Yeah. And you're just like, dude, I would not want to. So who's it? Let me ask you this.
Let me tell you something. Number one, you'll never be in a movie with Tom Cruise. That's not, you don't have to worry about that, Paul. Yeah. Number two, if Tom Cruise is doing a movie that you're in, he knows why. It's like Tropic Thunder. He's going to.
I was thinking of Tropic Thunder.
He might be the funniest person you've like. He might do more funny shit than anyone's ever done in his life. Like if he put all his energy into just doing a comedy.
When he did that Les Grossman, character in Tropic Thunder, and they were like, dude, he just became. But like that would be wild. But here's the funny thing. You know what? How funny would it be if me and you were both on a set with him one time? Who's the most
Can I bet on that? It's a 400 to 1 futures bet right there. 4,000 to 1. I'm laying
but what
odds
if he's
right
like
now.
what if he's like a 71-year-old Tom Cruise and you're like in a drama? You never know.
I mean, I guess.
Dude,
it's a
what's
long
his name?
shot.
What's his name was in a movie and they was just like, dude. So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this question. Who's the most intimidating who was the most scared or intimidating person you were ever on a set with, or you ever did a scene with, where like the night before you were like, holy shit, A, I'm gonna meet that guy tomorrow, and B, I'm doing a fucking scene with that guy, or he's in my show?
2 people on the League, and I'll give them real quick, and then there's one on the League that I'll mention that I won't give the name. The 2 people on the League was Ray Liotta did a scene where he was the opposing attorney to Ruxin, to Nicrole's character. Wow. I wasn't even working that day. I just went in to go watch him meet him, take a picture.
By the way, rest his soul, the great late Ray Liotta.
Jerry Jones, We got 15 minutes to shoot with Jerry Jones. This was the second season. We went to Cowboys training camp. He was cool in the sense like we had 15 minutes from the time they sat down to put makeup on to the time he walked out the door. So like improvising, that's a moment where we didn't improvise. We gave him lines and we gave us lines just for time purposes, and also he would not have wanted to like talk to. He didn't know us. He didn't want to talk to us. You could tell like he was like, this is 15 minutes. I'm going to make a little bit of money here, and this is just for fun. And so I did the thing. We did it like 2 or 3 times. And then the last time I was like, there was a fucking football trophy right here, right? We were in his actual office at training camp.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, all right, fine. You can have, the scene was like, you can have this name back. And I'm like, deal. Me and Ruxin going, deal, Jerry. All right, great. I'll have the paper drawn up. And I just grabbed this football thing and I started to walk away, right? And I'm like, can I take this? And he's like, put that back. And I was like, oh, okay, right? And then he gets up to leave, and then the director goes, cut. And he goes, oh, I thought he was like, when I said, can I take this? He thought I was fucking real. Like he thought I was like, I thought the scene was over and I was taking a beat. I was like,
oh, that's so cool though.
So
that's a great story.
And it stayed in, thank God, because it looked. He was like, put that back. Like, he wasn't like. He's like, hey, this is not part of this.
He's like, dude, I don't care about your cameras, dude. You're not taking that.
You're not taking that.
That's awesome.
So, and then the third one, and this was the most nervous I ever was in the moment, was we had a football player, and we had many football players on, but we had this one, I'm not going to say who it was.
Hall of Famer?
Close to it. Okay. Really, really good.
Can you give the position?
All over the place. He was like he was like a
he played both ways?
No. I'm talking like running back, but played a lot of like a wing back. He would
slot receiver. Right. Got it. Yeah.
So we're about to do the scene, and the director comes over and he goes, "Hey, just real quick, I didn't realize this, but he stutters. It's a terrible stutter. It's really bad." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "All right, ready, guys? Here we go." Everyone, and I'm like, and so when you're trying to improvise with someone and you don't know when they're done talking, it's a very difficult thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to cut them off, but I never knew. So I fucking sweating the entire time. I'm like, because this is a big football player, and I'm like, I don't want to embarrass me, and I don't know if we're getting what we want to get done. Right. There's no laughter. It's like tension.
So you have two concerns now.
Yes.
Your concerns now is not just working with this great legend.
Yes.
But your concern is like his issue.
I'm thinking like it's him and I in a scene. So if this scene is going to be in the show and it doesn't work, they're only going to be looking at one fucking person, right? Trust me, they'll fill in the gaps in the air of the stutter, but I'm the one that's going to be standing there like,
Yeah.
So I remember like we would go in between. Jeff would be like, "You're doing all right. I'm like, "All right, we got the beat. Let's just try to close in the gap." But in that moment, that was the most terrified acting I'd ever known.
Was the stuttering bad during it?
Yes,
it was.
Yes,
and it probably made it worse because he was nervous, right?
Yes.
Oh,
it made it even worse. He was not like a commercial guy. You did not see him in commercials and stuff. And now we know why.
And was he nice to you?
Super nice. The nicest of the nice. The kindest, nicest person, which is why you're like, I don't want anyone to fail here.
You're going to tell me off air, right?
Of course. We had Jim McMahon on, and that was tough because we had him for 2 days, and they were like, no, we can't have him for 2 days.
I know he has some issues. I know.
So yeah, they're like, because he won't even remember, like who your characters are the next day. So we had to shoot everything one day.
Yeah, dude, it's like,
that was rough. But acting, improvising with someone who stutters when you don't know it and you're not used to it was a real fucking battle.
Dude, that's really like cool, man. Dude, how great is this episode, everybody? You know what? We had a chef on.
Oh, really?
We had dude, we had the Food Freak. He's got a show on Steve. He's got a show on YouTube called Not Another Cooking Show. He's got like 1-point-something million things, and like we just talked about, dude, and everybody loved that. But dude, the fact that we're talking about this acting shit is so I'm interested in it. But I'll tell you mine, which I was nervous. So I never asked or anything. I didn't know I was going to be in any of these parts until last minute, right? They'll be like, "Oh, Cass, like, I didn't know I was going to be in Bupkis," but Pete's like, "Oh, I always had you in mind for this part." So I go out to California to do Burr's movie, right? And he's doing this movie, Old Dads, right? And I get a call from Bartnick, because Bartnick is in the scene too. And he goes, yeah, dude, we're doing the scene with Bobby Cannavale, right? And I was just like, oh shit, okay, like, and Bobby's great, man.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot of shit. And I don't know, what to expect or anything like that. So I met him. I go there and he's like, hey, yeah, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I heard about you, this and that. And he was really nice, so that eased it. But we're in like a strip club, and like in between takes, he would just go, it was fucking nuts, dude. He's like yelling something, and I'm just kind of this like random dude, but like right next to him. And he goes, hey, Paul, after I yell this, just repeat everything I say. And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, so he would just yell something and I would just yell it. And I'm going, holy shit, dude. And we're like laughing and having a good time. And then like, he's like, then I did another scene. He goes, hey, when he does it, why don't we do this? And he was like, dude, helping out. And dude, he couldn't have been more cool. But I'm so nervous because when you see a dude like that, you don't know. Because some guys could be, when I saw.
He's a great actor.
He's a great actor. And like, he did things that I noticed were different than what other actors on the set were doing. Like during times of down, he'd be just reading a book.
Yep.
You would just see him like he was completely away from everything.
Yeah.
And he would just be reading a book, and then you walk by and go, hey man, I mean to buy you. No, man, it's all good. Like so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And so that was
not unapproachable, but in his zone, like in his own little thing.
Yeah, and like and then when you do talk is approachable.
Yeah.
But like, he's just like in his own, but like really cool and down to earth. And then another cool story, which I don't think I've said this, but when I went into Bupkis, Pete goes. So he goes, yeah, we're in the rehab scene. And he goes, and it's going to be you and Machine Gun Kelly and Joey Gay and Paul Walter Hauser. And I'm going, dude, Paul Walter Hauser. I love
that dude.
Dude, Paul Walter Hauser's a fucking, that's for anybody that doesn't know, that's Richard Jewell. He played Richard Jewell in Clint Eastwood's movie about the bombing.
The Apple Show
and,
was amazing too. The Apple Show that he was.
Oh, dude, Blackbird.
Blackbird.
So
sick.
like, so I go there and I'm going, oh my God, dude, this guy's a great actor. And I get there and I swear to God, I'm really not saying this. I'm really not saying this to pat myself on the back because it took me way too. He just walks up to me and goes, oh, dude, I recognize you, dude. And I was like, what?
What?
Because he's a fucking, he's a comedy nut.
Yes, I did know that.
He's a comedy nut. He's a podcast comedy nut.
That's crazy.
And then, so when I told you that Cheeker scene with the pill, he watched it the day before. So not only was he like into comedy, but then he's like, oh, dude, we watched you on the thing. And then me and Joey Gay have this great thing where I kind of lose my mind about my wife leaving me with the Giants.
Okay.
And I go, yeah, but I'm going to be there next week. Okay. Not like her, right? Like I was like, and I'm taking the points, right? And like, it was really good. And he's there and he's just watching it. And then, dude, he comes up, he's like, dude, that was great. So I never saw Blackbird until after working with him. And
thank God,
I knew.
Then you were like, "Fuck, he's really good."
And dude, I watched Blackbird, and I'm going, that guy complimented me and everything. But if anybody doesn't know, it's that true story.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a documentary or like a little piece they did on TV with the real guy who played the guy that was like the football player.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And he was like this, like good look. And they were actually gonna make it a movie.
Really?
Yeah, they were gonna make it.
It was awesome, dude. It was sick. That whole series. I mean, I was like, I don't know who I'm rooting for here.
And here's the other thing: for that story to be true, without giving it away, I'll just tell you guys. Blackbird is a show about a guy who was like this young, shredded, like football player, but all of his friends were making more money doing bad shit. So he decides to move drugs. He's in mansions. He's banging hot chicks. He's going out and he gets fucking, the feds come and get him. And he's like, dude, I'll get my lawyers. And Ray Liotta, rest his soul. Ray Liotta plays his dad. And he's like, dude, he goes, you better do a plea deal because I'm going to make an example.
Yep.
Anyway, they tell him he's going to do a certain amount of time. They lie to him. Remember?
Yes.
They're like, you're going to do 5 years. And he's like, he takes it. And then all of a sudden he gets there and it's like 10 and he's screaming in his way. And then they call him up and they go, hey, we're going to send you to another prison, but there's a serial killer there.
You got to get that confession out of him.
And if you can find out where this girl's body is, we'll get out. And he's like, you lied to me once. Why would I do it? Long story short, he goes to the thing and dude, it is like, and here's the thing. When I found out that that's real and then they showed the real pictures.
I didn't even know.
It's real.
I don't remember that real part. And by the way, how could they cast a white guy that was really a black person?
Who?
Didn't they cast what's it, Ellington? Wasn't he the
No. The guy in real life was white.
Oh, he was. I thought you said he was black in real life.
Oh, no.
I'm like, that's they can't do that. I'm like, this
it's like,
news.
it's like, hey, I know
this is not a good idea. Was Michael B. Jordan not available or something? I mean,
hey, these aren't the times.
Yeah, I don't know.
These aren't the times.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, things are really swinging the other way,
man.
right? No, it was a true story about it. The guy was a white guy, and he really did have to. How nuts is that? That they took a guy, they said, go to this prison, get a confession, find out. And Paul Walter Hauser, when you see how they made him look, and then you see the real guy, you're like, holy shit, he was phenomenal.
Creepy, dude.
He won the Golden Globe for it. But anybody watching, I didn't give anything away because that's literally like the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then you just
it's a show.
It's like a six or seven episodes
anthology series,
dude. Yeah, like Paul Walter Hauser's a monster, dude.
Bobby Cannavale, I love him. But my wife and I, during like 1999, 2000, we had broken up. We both live in the city. We broken up, and for a little bit, and so I hear through the grapevine, you know, this is pre-Instagram, that one of our mutual friends is working on Broadway, and Bobby Cannavale is in a show. And then I hear that my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time, ex-girlfriend, was going to go to the Yankee game with her and him. And she was going to try to like see if these two would connect or whatever. So I was like, and thank God. I mean, my wife was like,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So your wife, who was your girlfriend at the time, your wife now, she was your girlfriend at the time, 1999.
1999, 2000.
1999, 2000. She goes to Yankee Stadium with a girlfriend. And Bobby Cannavale.
Yes.
And the girlfriend was trying to hook your wife
Without
up with...
my wife knowing, but like, kind of like, I think this guy might like this girl, and she's recently broken up. Thank God it didn't work out.
Shit.
Thank God, dude.
Oh, dude.
Thank God. And I mean, at least I don't know. My wife told me it never worked out, but about, we get married. This is about, 6 years later, I get cast in Mall Cop, right? So we're in Boston shooting Mall Cop for, it had to be
first
5
one.
months. Yeah, 5 months we were there. And I remember during the whole thing, they were like, we can't find this one role. Adam Ferrara's playing one cop, but they need another guy to play like the chief of police or whatever. And then I remember we cast this guy, Bobby Cannavale. And he shows up to the hotel we're at one night. We're all hanging out after drinking and stuff. And he shows up. He was awesome. So the nicest, like
the best.
He's like, I took the train, this and that. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to bring this and that. Or TSA bullshit. Blah blah blah. We're hanging out, and I'm just already in my mind. I'm like, this guy fucked my wife. I have resentment build up for this guy, right? Meanwhile, I've been with these people for 3 months, and I'm like, this guy's just showing up. Look how everybody fucking loves this guy, right?
Oh, dude, that's so
Bro,
funny.
2 days later, I'm like, Bobby's sitting next to me in the van on the way home. I sit next to Bobby on the way home from fucking set. Bobby, you said you were going to sit with me at lunch today.
So you got along with him.
Oh, my God, dude. Yankee fan, charming, smart. Like, I'm like, babe, you fucked up.
Dude, yeah.
You fucked up.
Yeah, what are you
time,
doing,
right?
dude? Yeah, no, like charming guy, good looking guy,
yes.
nice, just like and a good actor, dude.
Unbelievable.
Like he was doing shit like during takes, and I was just like, and you could see he's taking chances, and like you would watch him.
He doesn't mind getting silly. He doesn't mind probably failing. I'm sure there's shit where you're like, oh, Bobby tried something crazy tonight that didn't work out. Like he has those. He'll try something off, like probably what's not there, Yeah. He'll try to make something out of something.
And he saw us like the obviously the newer actors like us and the comedians who were acting in the movie. He saw us like watching him, and like he put on he was like, you could tell he would like flip it around, and there's a scene where like I don't want to give too much away, but like some shit happens in the strip club, and you could tell like the way when somebody's yelling at him or talking to him, just the way he would squint his eyes and look. You're like, dude, he's listening. He's one.
He's reacting off of like
you could see it flip.
He hasn't made like like actors are like, and I'm gonna make this choice on this line because this is how I feel then. But like you plan, it's almost like making a Super Bowl. This is our game plan. This is how we're gonna do each line. But then all of a sudden oh shit, the way he said that doesn't match up with the way I was gonna say this, and all of a sudden I'm not listening. Now you're in the 3-4 coverage or nickel coverage, and I'm trying to run oh shit,
dude,
like, that's he listens.
Dude, that's actually probably what you just said is probably one of the best ways I've ever heard acting described.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the best way that I've ever heard acting described, because when you talk to actors and they go, I made this choice.
Yeah.
So basically, they have the script, right?
Yeah.
And they're looking at it, and then they decide, okay, I'm going to be a football coach. So I guess this is the best example. Mm-hmm. When Pacino played the coach in...
Yeah.
Any given
Sunday.
And he tells that one thing. That was a great speech, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, and he tells the whole thing, and you just see fucking LT going like this, and he's telling that he made the decision that he was going to start, but then build and say things and do it, and he kind of chose that.
Yes.
But that was his plan.
That's a monologue.
But another actor could have been like, "Hey, I'm going to stay like this, and then maybe go up one," but they make that decision.
Yeah.
And that's and the way you said it is like it's a plan for a game. And you're going in with that plan, but what you're saying, which is really interesting, is what if the counterpart in this, what if the other does it where you're like, oh shit, the energy that I planned was not right.
Yeah, now we have to find a new end. We got to meet each other at some level.
And then that's kind of where I would say the director that's kind of where you and the director would have a 5-minute meeting and go like, hey, maybe we can do it.
You got to be able to now, if the director says like, hey, we're going to try to roll it this way, you got to be like, all right, I'm going to change my plan. You know, I'm going to. And what it does, and they don't give you like, all right, we're going to go sit for an hour and wait for this guy to figure out his new choices. Like, all right, let's try it again. So now I got to sit there and really listen to what you're saying.
Yep.
You know, I know my line. I know what I'm going to say, but I want to make sure that the way I come back at you is really truthful to what you're giving to me right now. And so that's where it comes involved.
Right, because it wouldn't make sense if you did this.
And we're going to do it right now. I can go back and think about 3 or 4 other decisions, but sorry, dude, everyone's here right now. We're doing the fucking scene right now. So now we need your new decision right now. Here's we go. Your choice. Go for it. So
let me ask you this, because I know a ton of people listening to this love the league. I'm sure of that. How was this really funny outtakes? Like, were you ever like, dude, especially with the improv shit, dude? Did you and Nick Kroll just start bursting out crying?
First 5 seasons, I think we had with DVDs. DVDs were still a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So we would literally cut together outtake, like 25-minute outtake clips that they would send to us previous to sending them out to everyone, just to make sure you were good with whatever was the outtakes, you know. And so we would watch. I literally couldn't watch them in one single take or one like a half hour straight, because I would be missing, crying, laughing so hard, missing whatever was happening. Because you got to think about it. If you and I are doing a scene, great, I see that, but we improvise the show, so I don't know how these other scenes, like if I'm not there, I don't know how these scenes turn out.
Right.
And I remember this. There was a scene with Kroll and Jason Mantzoukas, who plays Rafi on the show. They're brother-in-laws, and he's a fucking wild person, Rafi. And they're trying to. He's trying to tell him why he's like, Rafi, you can't do this. This is a bad choice. He's like, was it a bad choice when Michael Jackson made whatever? He goes, Michael Jackson's not here anymore. And Rafi goes, what? And he pretended he didn't know Michael Jackson was dead. And Nick Kroll could not get through. So he was starting laughing so hard. So you go, cut, right? All right. So he knows it's coming right now. He knows it's coming, but he turns and goes, Whitney Houston's dead? And all of a sudden Nick is back. Like dude. To the point where Nick would have to leave the scene, right?
Yeah.
He would have a walkie-talkie right here, and Mantzoukas had to do the scene to an empty chair, and he would talk back through the walkie-talkie because we would be losing so much time. He couldn't. It was too funny. He's almost too funny for the show.
Is that the funnest, the most fun you've had in this business?
Oh yeah. That Curb, like that kind of stuff. I mean, in the acting realm.
Yeah.
Like hanging with comics and you know, the debauchery that comes along with that and the fun festival times and stuff. That's That's, you know, even that's better.
Dude, well, we're definitely 1,000% going to do a second part to this, because this was probably one of the fastest and I would say interesting things, because like I said, so many times you get like your peer that's a comic on a podcast, and people and you know what, when you get the people that go, oh great, 2 comics talking about comedy again, or like stand-up, they've heard it so many times, they know that that's our life. But this is like the interesting shit about like comedians on set when it's not our realm. Right? Like we're good at it. And we can do it, and we could excel and make it a part of our world. But we're kind of in their world. It would, you know, and then we get better at it. So it's kind of cool to see the ins and outs of it.
One last thing I could say about it too, what I like about it, and I'm sure you probably do, is because, I mean, I'm sure you grew up the same way I did, like blue collar working class union people as parents and stuff. I like going to a job. I like talking to like almost like clocking in and I like going to a set. I like going to talk to different people.
See, that's where we're different.
Really? I like sitting in the
you like the
chair
structure.
and talking to
Oh,
them.
yes, I do like
getting
that.
on the line and eating lunch with the grips.
Yeah,
and who's breaking whose balls about what, who fucked up on their end today. I like the camaraderie, that sort of vibe to it. I feel it's a very like going to a workplace kind of feel.
One thing that reminds me of is I noticed this too this past week. And by the way, thank everybody who came out in Arizona, dude. It was 100. I'm not joking.
Where'd you play?
I played CB Live.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It was
a Super Bowl weekend. It was crazy.
It was 115 degrees, dude. It was 115 degrees.
Wow.
And I only did 2 Saturday and 1 Sunday, but the fans that came out, thank you so much, dude. It was like I walked outside and I was like, this is like another world of heat.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, like I basically was locked in my hotel room for 2 days.
Yeah, you can't go outside.
There's nothing you could do. I mean,
No.
thank God it's dry heat. But one thing that I noticed, I really do love, and I'll never take it for granted. I love being in the green room before the show with the other comics.
Yeah.
And that half hour before the show kicks off.
It's your BP session.
And I don't care how new or young the host is. I don't care if I know, like now sometimes I bring my feature, but if I don't and it's a local, that's cool. As long as everybody in there is cool, dude, I love that, man.
Me too, dude. It's like warming up a pitcher. We're all getting our funny little warmed up,
it's so
What'd
great.
you do today? A little bit of this. Cracks, digs a little bit.
Yeah.
You can get in your zone, but it's still like everyone's kind of passing it around and getting like a little revved up. I like that.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, please tell everybody what you got coming up, where they can get
I'm going
you all
on
that.
tour this fall. I'm doing I'm SteveRannazzisi.com for all I'm doing weekend clubs, and then Ari Shafir and I are doing a 2-week bus tour through the Midwest. So that's November. So
that's gonna be
everything
awesome.
will be on the website, SteveRannazzisi.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
guys,
Wise Guys, September 16th weekend. That's the first one. So,
dude,
I love that place.
Dude, that's one of my favorite clubs. That's one of my favorite clubs in America.
Me too.
It's the best.
It really is.
Keith Stubbs is the best.
Greatest.
It's dude. It's
Green room's the greatest. The staff is awesome.
There's
the people fucking
sports
pack it
fans.
out.
It's the best.
They really are. They are fucking awesome.
It's one of
And
my
who would've
favorite clubs,
thought?
dude.
Every time, the first time I went there, I'm like, this is gonna suck.
Oh, dude, and it's like, and you're right next to where the Jazz play.
Perfect.
You walk at night. What are you going to worry about? A
awesome.
fucking 16-year-old skateboarder? There's the beautiful mountains.
Yeah.
Guys, the first leg of my tour is pretty much done, but we do have some stuff. We got San Diego coming up in October. We have Philadelphia coming up. We have Albany, and we have Hartford, and more dates are coming for the fall. I'm going to head to the beach next month, so I'm going to be chilling, but you guys can check all the dates out, paulvirzi.com. Check out Nocturnal Admissions, which is streaming right now on Netflix. You can check me out in Bupkis, and I'm working on a new special, guys. I'm going to make a big announcement on my new special soon. And everybody that I told you guys, if you guys are free, save the date for New York City, New Year's Eve. I have an announcement, but I will be performing in New York City, New Year's Eve at a cool spot. I cannot wait to let you guys know where and when the tickets are available. I'll let you guys know that soon. And again, paulvirzi.com. Check out the Bone to Pick podcast with Bobby Kelly. Anything Better with Bill Burr. We're about to do our BetMGM NFL picks starting week 1. And dude, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Dude,
for
this was
having me, brother.
amazing.
Always.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.